Wildfires, particularly in Saskatchewan, burned real hot today. Took right off, exploded. Big time smoke delivery into the areas northeast of them, out towards Churchill, Manitoba, and places like that. Some fires in Manitoba showing activity. A little bit of activity on one fire in the far north in British Columbia. We are coming into active fire weather, like I said, here on the channel. Hit like, share, subscribe. Joey Only, Caribou, Weather Dude, YouTube. Let's go. There it is.
This is bad news. My God.
Falling out right now.
Anything can happen.
Get on!
Wow. I'll watch the video later.
More blankets and water.
They dry mopping this. Start here looking at the last 2 days out in the prairies on what's been going on. Of course, that's up in the Boreal forest, not the prairies. We refer to Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta as the prairie provinces. However, very little of them is actually prairie. The bottom third and the most of it is this Boreal forest where these fires are taking off right now. You can see them very clearly yesterday, kicking out a lot of smoke, getting activity, fires all over, showing aggressive energy. During the night, we can only guess what they're doing. And then here they are today, still going in the morning. So they didn't stop actively burning all night long. That's what you can deduce right away from the fact that the sun comes up and they're still going. But of course, they chugged hotter in the heat of the day and the wind as well. Lots of wind through the prairies and whatnot. Lots of different weather stories. I'm going to stick to this for this video. On this one, you can really see better what they're doing because of particle size. You can still see the fires active through the night when you look at particles, and there they are, particle size kicking off. You don't see the smoke so much. We're seeing where the heaviest particulates are, but as the day goes on and it gets heavier, the particulates get bigger. And you can see them there on long wave infrared. And this one's particularly good, the veggie. Look at that. We can really see that smoke kicking up yesterday, and daylight comes, still burning. Smoke kicking up even hotter by the time you hit noon hour. Crossover conditions probably start kicking in. There they go, ripping the entire northeast of there. Smoke. It must be acrid to all points to the northeast. You can see that smoke lingering on from the night before, and then the next bunch of smoke kicks up. Look at that, the entire northeast sector there. Well, here in BC, thunderstorm behavior has been kind of the issue. Alberta got their share today. Brandon Houck over in Brooks got a lot of these storms. You're going to watch this whole system push on into BC. Now we're into today. Look at that. Here we are today. And what happened? All these storms popped up in Alberta. Lots of strong storms down the line. Look at those ones. Beasts. So we can be sure of those strong storms moving up into northern Alberta, coming across towards Saskatchewan border. They're going to start more fires up in the north. That's just a given. Upper level pattern still existing for us. However, the heat's going to win for a little bit here. We got 2 days of nice weather coming to BC. Warm conditions continue for the prairie. Dry conditions for the prairie. Low amount of humidity during the afternoon sun. Where we've been seeing activity today on fires, a little bit still in that area northeast of Lac de Bonnet. Over the last couple of days, there's been some activity there. Doesn't seem like some of these ones in the south are responding quite yet, but I'm sure there's hot spots out there that will. So Manitoba, for the most part, pretty busy there, this Kississing Lake, but I'm not seeing a lot of activity. You know what's going to be happening too in some of these guys is the actual amount of smoke that's overhead from the Saskatchewan fires is going to block out the sun a lot and bring the temperatures down enough, and that will actually have an effect of calming fire behavior down a little bit. Okay, so we got these guys here. And this is really crazy. So I think we're going to see the campfire merge with the shoe fire. That seems like a likelihood right now. And look at the distance we're talking about right now. These fires are torching off. What's the difference from the bottom of this fire activity over the last couple of days to the top? 103 kilometers. Like, wow. Okay, how far across are we at this point? 40, 50 kilometers wide. So like this is a lot of area that is in fire burning right now. What kind of area are we talking about? So that encompasses an area over 2,000 square kilometers where there's been fire activity, right? That's insane. That's insane. These fires are exploding and they're probably going to merge, my friends. These other ones in Sask showing some activity there on Wolf today. Fresh activity. Yeah, definitely fresh activity today. In the last 24 hours, there's been activity, but today definitely showing with the darker colors. Increased activity today. Increased activity at J. Smith Fire. Looks like there's a Bit of an organized front there, fire front over at Pissou. Seeing on all the edges here a lot of activity. A lot of these are surrounded by water, so it kind of forces them to, if they want to stay alive, get creative in how they're going to do it. This scratching on the shield looks a lot like where I'm from back in Ontario, actually. That's really, I bet you this would look a lot like the Madoc to actinolite corridor. It really looks like actinolite, Ontario, that same geological lower shield outcroppings. Scoured clear by glaciers. That's not the point, though. Not too much for fire activity in Alberta showing up. Had some activity yesterday. Swan Hills Fire showed quite a bit of activity yesterday. There was a critical wildfire alert last night, but it's not seeming too active today necessarily. And what do we have over here in BC? Actually, some fire activity at G90323, which is far to the northwest of Fort Nelson. But that's the first sign of some fire activity waking up there. The rest of the province pretty quiet. So here's the concern. Elevated wind levels across the board, 25 steady K winds at times. So that's going to drive fire behavior in all this area. Saskatchewan still seeing a little bit stronger winds right up through Churchill. So we could see some breezy weather. In some areas, that will translate to strong wind gusts, particularly up to Churchill, which is sort of not in our fire discussion today. Strong up through northern Alberta, strong up through Yellowknife area. We've had lots of lightning in these regions over the last number of days. So as it gets hotter and drier, we get more and more winds. We could see fires that we didn't know were there start to pop up and show themselves. Looking at temperature still too, very warm. Our areas where the fires are showing the most activity today threatens to be very warm again tomorrow, pushing towards 30 degrees Celsius, not quite making it there. Parts of Saskatchewan in the south, much cooler than the parts in the north. And here's the smoking gun, 22% humidity. We got strong winds. We got temperatures nearing 30. We're going to see some really bad fire activity there again tomorrow on Wednesday as well. So not just Tuesday, but Wednesday as well. But low humidity across the board, even creeping up into the BC interior. And we're looking at really warm temperatures across the board tomorrow too. Wednesday's the big warm-up day. We already know what the humidity values are like associated with this. So any kinds of fires that start in this warm sector where the humidity is low, they're going to burn. Fuels are fairly dry in some regions of BC, in the central interior at least, and on down through the southern interior. You're going to have warm temperatures and you're going to have dry air. Fire activity is possible if anything lights up there. The north not looking good. I expect to see these fires in the next 2 days that have been very quiet up there, but are still alive because they're kind of out of the range where no one people are going to let them burn, because you got to be smart about our resource management. And those are fires that don't threaten anything and are way off. So some of them they are going to be letting burn, I'm sure, like they have in the past. And they're going to be waking up. We're going to see increased fire activity there. Things start to change for us here a little bit in the BC interior on Thursday, but not so up for the north. Again, fire activity, fire weather now pushing more and more into eastern Manitoba, Ontario border. So we're going to see more increased fire activity from those ones that we didn't see that much activity on today, that showed activity in the last 24 hours, but not that much later today. And you're going to see that heat finally make its way as this low moves across the next few days. We're going to have thunderstorms in behind that, though, and that's all topics for another video. Of course, all topics for another video. Thunderstorm potential, going to be lighting more fires. We're not going to be out of this quite yet. Thursday, big day for southern BC, big day for all the way up into the Northwest Territories. Look at Hay River at 31 fucking degrees. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Anything that strikes up there lightning-wise as fuels are drying out now are in for trouble, because we're already at extreme conditions, more or less, in those areas of Saskatchewan. This is wrong. It says very high. It went from extreme to very high. The area got bigger that it said very high, but no, it's going to be extreme in those areas, I think, until the low starts moving on out. But look at this. Extreme conditions will be part of, and this isn't the official Canadian Fire Information maps, of course, but look at that. Still maintaining extreme into Saturday in some of those Saskatchewan areas. Going to see some change in the near future, but that's a topic for another video. So I think at the very least, you got to get through this week, Saskatchewan. Manitoba, be ready. Your fires are going to be waking up soon. Northern BC, like Fort Nelson, If you're driving up towards the Northwest Territories, be aware that that fire potential is increasing up there and climbing up and up and up. And there may be dormant fires from last year or whatever that may start waking up in that heat too. So be aware, everybody, in Western Canada. I got more for British Columbia coming tonight, I think. For now, I'm just going to keep it to that. Keep her safe, everybody. Hit like, share, subscribe. Bye for now.